Well, good morning, folks. It is a Saturday morning. I got a house to go look at today. It's an estate. I'm not really super sure about this one. We'll see what happens. Before I can even make an offer, I'm going to have to make sure that our insurance, I know they talked about being licensed and bonded. We're insured and bonded. We are insured. We have workman's comp. But we're not bonded for the state of Washington. That's where I'm heading. So I'm going to have to figure out if I need to, if our insurance will suffice. I think that's something that I'm just going to put on their attorney. I'm not sure if the attorney's going to be there today or not, but basically it's an estate. The siblings got into, started bickering and stuff, so finally the attorneys, they went through mediation or something, and they have to just liquidate. Just based on little bits and pieces of conversation I had with the individual. I think there's a lot of perceived value. First thing I tell everybody, when they're selling something, trying to liquidate something, ignore everything they see on eBay. And I tell everybody that brings in items on consignment, you're not going to get close to eBay prices on the majority of your stuff. I tell people, if you want to make top dollar, you're going to sell on eBay. That's going to be up there on the top tier. If next thing down is local apps, or sell locally through OfferUp, LetGo, Facebook Marketplace, buy sell trade groups on Facebook, and we are somewhere in between garage sale and local apps. There are some items that'll get eBay prices, but on average, just so I can level set people's expectations, you're not going to get near eBay prices typically going through auction, whether you're consigning or selling to me. There has to be enough room to, pay for employees to help move the stuff. You have to figure in, okay, where am I going to store it until I can move it? So that there's all these factors that go in when you're trying to figure out how much you're going to pay for a lump of items. The hardest thing dealing with estates is removing any emotional ties. And my thought is, if you have any emotional ties to anything in that estate, then remove them from what you're trying to liquidate. That way they're completely out of the equation. If you have that strong emotional ties, then it shouldn't be sold anyway. So it's just some of those things that you deal with when you're going out and talking to these folks about buying, the estate that they're trying to clear out. It's in a situation where they have to move everything out so that they can sell the house. So we'll see. There's supposed to be a house full of stuff. There's supposed to be outbuildings. I know there were a couple of things based on the conversation that I think that, like, I know how to look at solds on eBay, and I know how to, and I know that you have to make some money too. So she kind of gets that part, but she also made statements like, I'm not going to give this stuff away. I'm not going to, I don't want to be cheated. So I think she had a bad experience talking to somebody else that came out and looked at stuff. And one of the things was furniture, and I'm probably going to tell her something similar to what the other individual had told her. Furniture is a hard mover. It just is. For the most part. I mean, I can move mid-century modern pieces fairly quickly. And more modern pieces I can move fairly quickly. But if there's anything from the 70s and 80s, well, more 80s, that big bulky bedroom sets and touches and, things that weigh a ton to move and they're large, they don't typically do well. And I think the main reason for that is not just the design factor, but also over the years, the last 20, 30 years, houses have gotten smaller. So most houses can't even accommodate these large items. So I think the people that are buying used furniture, they may not have space to put a big old bedroom set from the 80s. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to see what happens. If you guys haven't checked out my last video, my haul video, as I sit there randomly going to auction, yawning, trying to keep from falling asleep while driving. Last week was or this past week was a taxing one. It's been 3 weeks, maybe 4, that we pushed over 500 items in our auction. And we are seeing it pay off, but it's a lot of hours to do that. And I had other things that I wanted to do. I went to my daughter's orchestra concert this past week, and there's a couple other things I had to go take care of. So that kind of took away from me listing in those periods. So I had to make it up. So there was a lot of nights I was up at the shop till 9, 10, 11, sometimes midnight. But you know what? I'd rather be doing this any day than that many hours. I think it was Deldon over, the 9-pound hammer. I think he's the one that had reminded me of the saying that I'd rather work 60 hours for myself. I choose to work 60 hours a week, not to work 40 for somebody else. It's really more than 60. But, we're still in that growth stage, believe it or not. We've been doing the auction for just over a year. And we've got quite an email base. We've got a good average number of bidders that come in and bid actively each week. But we're still working on that growth. So I've been trying to increase my Instagram feeds, which feeds down to my Facebook. That's really the biggest part of the advertising that I do. I do boost posts, and I've gotten some traction on Facebook boosting posts. I haven't seen whether it's converting over to sales or bidding, but I have to get my name out there. There's a lot of folks that participate in auction that just don't know we're out here. They're regular buyers at our competitors' auction, and typically these people that buy at auctions, pretty much it's addicting. I'll be completely honest with you. So that they oftentimes will shop at all the auctions around. So it's not really, we're spreading the dollars thin for our customers. Or, my goal is to have items that they come to me first. So, number one, I like to think, we do make mistakes, particularly in spelling, but I like to think that we do our best to try to put better images out there, better descriptions. We actually stage our items a little bit on the backdrop. If it's used, if it's in a box, we'll take it out of the box and photograph it that way. it's just those little extra touches that we hope people notice when they're visiting our auction site, and will help us take more of the market share here in our local area. Sales on eBay, I'm still doing that. Yesterday I sold some, they're like AV, my car's going to shake because I'm going up this hill and I really need an oil change. But, and I go way off topic sometimes. But yeah, eBay sales are doing okay. I just have to focus on listing. I mean, I've said that for the last few years. The only way you're going to sell stuff is to list more. It doesn't matter if you're, it doesn't matter what you're listing, just get something listed. I mean, of course you want something that's listed that's going to sell. But just making sure there's activity. I mean, I'm going in daily at least and reviewing my prices, checking out to see if I have any offers I can make, lowering prices, raising prices. I just sold a cookie jar this week that I listed for quite some time. I think I had it for $60 at one point, lowered it down to $40, lowered it down to $29.99, and let it sit for a little while, no traction. Turned around and increased the price up to $39.99, and it sold within like 2 or 3 days. So there is, it's just make sure you're active in your account. Don't slough it off and think that everything's going to move on its own. Anyway, that's enough of me gabbing right now. Hopefully I'll do okay on this. What we're going to see. If I'll try to get some video and throw that up, but I just have to make sure I have permission to video under I really need at least images that I can go back and take to Kathleen so we can review and figure out what type of offer we're going to put in. And I'm hoping that my charm will work in our favor. Anyway, we'll see you. Catch you later. Like stepping back 3 times. It is a mess. There's so much stuff here. There's a lot of good stuff here, but I'll have to find out exactly what she is looking for. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, that's the way. I love those. There's a lot of good stuff here, but I can't do a whole house clean out. This is way too much for our doing.
My sister wants to be executive for some reason, and I know the reason she wants those cars like this. Sales that I did get partly here and then.
Well, it didn't end up right the way it was a mess. You'll see in the video, or you saw in the video. I put a small pile together. I was willing to spend about $300 or $400 with her if she was willing to let it go. But there was two buildings. There was a house, and there was an old church that had stuff in it. I put a pile of. There's probably 10 or 12 dishes. It was like plastic. There's a couple Corel pieces, a couple coffee cups. I had two old lamps and a little metal there's enamel pan as well, like a big bowl. I said I came back with 15 after she said 25. After I took because she came back, she goes, this enamel, this stoneware. I said, well, it's not stoneware, it's enamelware. She goes, I know somebody that'll give me $10 for it. I go, okay. I pulled it out and I said, okay, 15 for the rest. And she came back at 20. I said, well, you said you had somebody that would give you $10 for the bowl. Can you, that leaves the rest at 15. And she goes, how about all of it for 20? And by then I knew how the transaction was going to go, how I probably should have held out and just turned that pile down and went back and looked at the rest of the house. But, you know, I'm busy. I have lots of other things to do, and it wasn't really a necessity thing. She's still in that mode where there's value in all of it, which there is value in a lot of this stuff, but it's the work involved, and I don't think that they completely grasp the work involved with moving stuff. And you saw the piles of stuff. It's going to take her, they're going to have to pay a lot of money just to get the thing cleaned up so they can sell the house. And even then, they're not going to get a lot for that house. All the floors were buckled. I mean, it was pretty rough looking, which is typical in a lot of these old ghost town or near ghost town buildings. It's just, you know, it hadn't been taken care of. It looks like somebody had lived in there for a while. So I just politely told her that it doesn't look like we're going to be able to come to an arrangement. I don't know where I left off. I had to take a call. That was my wife, Kat, on the phone. But yeah, I had that small pile sitting there, and she said 25. After I made the offer of $10, she goes, I know somebody that'll give me $10 for that enamel pan. She called it stoneware, but it was actually enamelware. I said, okay. I picked up the pan. I moved it off to the side. And I said, how about 15 now? She goes, 20. I said, you just told me you get $10 for that pan. You're at 25, so that would bring the rest of it at 15. I said, to be honest with you, I said, I could probably get $10 out of that at most at auction. She goes, well, those are some nice lamps, and which they were, but so, you know, I think it's worth 20. And I said, you know, it's pretty evident that we're not going to be able to come to any agreement on price. I said, I wish you the best of luck. I said, I appreciate you letting me come and take a look. But I said, I don't mean to insult you with my offers, but I have to make sure there's enough room on top to cover costs and make a little bit of money on top of it. But I do appreciate you letting me take a look. So that was I think she was a little irritated by my offer, and it was kind of uncomfortable anyway because another gentleman came out at the same time, and she there was actually two of us looking at the same time, which he was more interested in some of the larger stuff, the car parts, and there were some vehicles I think that they had, but it was just for the drive out here, especially, and just trying to break the ice and get something moving. I wasn't going to overpay for some plastic dishes that they were going to be kind of a chance. The only thing I saw value in was really the lamps that I sold, and I was just throwing some extras in there to help make sure that I made a little off of the trip. But I was planning on, you know, dropping, you know, $300 or $400 or $500 on stuff. But if I can't make, if I can't come to an agreement on that first set of items, I'm not going to. I have more things that I need to have done today, and it was just not going to be worth my time to continue looking if I was going to have to sit there and go back and forth on everything. I think that we offer fair prices, but I think that she's still in that mode that she wants to get closer to retail on items and really don't understand or doesn't understand the work involved. And if she wants to try to piece every little item out and make her money that way, more power to her. But at the moment she's stuck with a house and a church scattered with a lot of garbage, but also a lot of not decent things mixed in. But it's the time and the effort that's going to need to be taken to filter all of it through, and then at the end they're still going to have to pay somebody to clean it out. I mean, that's going to be a hell of an undertaking right there. But anyway, you win some, you lose some. You just need to know your limits, and no matter how much you want an item in these situations, if it's not going to work out in your favor, then you need to learn when to put a stop to it and call it quits and politely bow out. Anyway, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this installment of Rod at Win by Doing. We'll catch you next time.